Hey, it's Geoff Goolsby here. Welcome to a quick episode of real information from the office where basically I just, answer some questions and address some issues that happen in real estate, real life, from the professional that does it every single day, myself, Geoff Goolsby. Hey, this episode I'm going to be talking about how to sell a home and buy another one. How you can buy a home when you have to sell yours. And I wrote a blog post about it, so check it out on my website at thegoolsbygroup.com. But also I'm going to give you today the 3 pro tips to consider in order to make your buying and selling experience not only successful, but less stressful. Okay, so pro tip number 1, prior planning prevents poor performance. Having a proper plan is so important, and including the people that you trust in your planning process is very, very important as well. So include your real estate agent, include your mortgage broker, include your financial advisor, your CPA, basically include the people, your estate attorney, include people that you trust in the planning process before making the decision to prepare your home for sale or to go out and buy another home. So before you start shopping for homes, talk to the people that you trust first and create a plan. Okay? That's going to drastically help in not only just the success of your sale, but will help in your stress levels as well. Having everything kind of mapped out before you get going is so important. Pro tip number 2, don't neglect your current home. Once you're getting the ball rolling and you've had your home, prepared for the market or not, don't go over and start shopping for other houses. That can be a very fun thing to do. Of course, we always want to think about the new chapter, the new beginning, a fresh start. And, let's face it, we have access to looking at new properties all the time from our devices and tablets. However, don't neglect your current property, because chances are that when you're selling your home in order to buy another one, you're going to need to pull as much equity out of your property as you possibly can. And the way that you do that is not by neglecting the current home. You can't just throw it up on the market and leverage. Even though we're in a seller's market right now, houses don't just sell themselves, okay? You're going to have to put some effort into it. You have to make sure that your house shows well. You're going to have to rely on the guidance of your real estate pro. Going to have to make sure that they're doing their part to properly market and not neglect your home. And all of those things need to come together synergistically in order for you to be successful and help you accomplish your goal of actually buying your next property. Okay? So don't neglect your home is my pro tip number 2. And then pro tip number 3 is be flexible. Okay? Understanding that you may have to rely on plan B or maybe plan C is going to be, just having that mindset is actually going to be, it's going to help you because, things don't always work out exactly as you might plan. Having a plan B or plan C is going to help you drastically reduce your stress levels. Understanding that you might have to adapt and change understanding that fundamentally now is going to help you later when you maybe do have to make an adjustment. I'll give you an example. I met with clients, great clients, and they, anyhow, I met with clients. We were talking about selling their home. We talked about price and strategy, and we really did everything right. We properly planned, right? Consulted with professionals ahead of time and all of that. Okay, put the house on the market and everything was going as planned in a linear line. But real estate doesn't always work that way. In fact, it almost never works that way. Real estate is not linear. It's dynamic. There's always new conditions and changes and, contingencies and things that impact the progress. So, of course, we ran into a bit of a roadblock when the appraisal didn't come back the way we wanted it to. The sellers going into this knew ahead of time that there may become an issue with the appraisal. They knew this. They knew that if that were to happen, there was probably going to be a plan B or potentially a plan C, and those were the options. When the appraisal didn't come back, we essentially went to plan B, right? Talking about how to negotiate through that and work our way through it. And at the end of the day, plan B was still successful. Plan B may have been a compromise in terms of plan A, but plan A went out the window when we ran into a roadblock. Plan B was the next best case scenario, and ultimately they were still incredibly successful. They sold for $50,000 more than what they listed their home for. And of course we want you to win. We want you to take the most amount of money out of your house, but we don't always gauge success by the amount of money that you earn. In most cases, or a lot of cases, it's equally important that the level of stress is not too high. So for these guys, they were able to, they knew ahead of time that there was going to potentially be a plan B or plan C that we would have to go for. We removed some of that level of stress, we implemented plan B, and boom, we're successful. We sold for a great price, and we sold with less stress. Okay, so that's what makes. I had a little note here that I wanted to share. Being stuck on a fixed outcome and fighting your way through it doesn't make you strong. Being able to adapt and still be successful despite of the changes that occurred, that makes you the real hero. And that's what my clients were that implemented plan B and were able to sell for $50,000 over their asking price. I mean, that's amazing. So anyhow, those are my 3 pro tips for how to buy and how to buy when you have to sell. Some things to consider. There's more resources on our website. Check out the Love It Then List It video. If you search YouTube, Goolsby Group, Love It Then List It. You search our seller FAQ page. There's going to be a ton of information there as well. And if you have any questions, drop them in the comments here or let me know. Thanks so much for watching. Take care. I'm Geoff Goolsby from the Goolsby Group at Keller Williams.